Hello, this is RV Vagabond Jerry, and after owning my coach for a year and a half, my batteries were finally crapping out on me, and it was getting really frustrating. So I decided I'm going to get new batteries. Now the first issue is, when do you know you need new batteries? Well, usually your batteries will get to a point to where they just won't take a charge anymore. Well, I didn't quite get to that point. What happened to me was that I could easily fully charge my batteries, but they would only let me use about the top 1/3 of the battery capacity before the batteries would go dead. I have been using 6 12-volt 100 amp hour flooded lead acid batteries. So I could only use about 200 amp hours before they would go dead. And I was having to recharge my batteries usually 3 times a day. And one time in the middle of the night, the batteries actually went dead, but my battery monitor said they were still at 65% charged. So that I couldn't tolerate anymore. And I had been boondocking at the end there 30 days in a row. So that really made it tough. And I was going to be doing more boondocking for the next month or so. So I decided I don't want to go through that again. I'm going to go ahead and bite the bullet and buy new batteries. Now for months, I have been thinking about this and trying to decide what type of batteries to get. Basically, there's 4 choices. There's flooded lead acid batteries, which is what I had. There's AGM lead acid batteries. There are gel batteries and lithium. Guess what type I decided to get? Well, the flooded lead acid batteries are the ones that you have to add water to, and usually at least twice a year you would have to add water to, which was really a tough job to do, at least in my situation. The other 3 types of batteries are maintenance free, where you never have to add water to them. So I went back and forth between the different types. People were telling me that flooded lead acid batteries are the best type to get. Other people were telling me, no, don't mess with that, get AGMs. Now gel batteries, I admit I don't know that much about, and the lithium batteries are a completely different type of technology. These are my old batteries.
What's that?
And here's the guy putting in my new batteries. So if you guess what type of battery I finally decided to go with, well, I was just about ready to pull the trigger on buying AGM batteries, and then the battery dealer talked me into going with lithium batteries. 12-volt, 300 amp hour lithium batteries. This is my battery compartment, and I used to have 6 batteries lined up along here, and each one was 100 amp hours, so I had a 600 amp hour battery pack. And lithium batteries also come in 100 amp hour batteries, which are about the same size as my old batteries. But I decided to go with 2 300s instead of 6 100s. And there's a few reasons for that. One is because when you have your batteries hooked up, the negative cable goes on one end and the positive cable goes on the other end, and the electricity from the charging flows from one battery to another. Well, the batteries in the middle get the least amount of charging. Most of the charging is concentrated on the 2 outside batteries. So the fewer batteries you have, the better, more equal charging you're going to get. And with only 2 batteries, the wiring is much less complicated than with 6 batteries. And also the overall cost is less, because these 2 batteries take up about the space of 5 of the 12-volt batteries. And the 12-volt lithiums cost about $1,000 a piece, so that's $6,000. These 300 amp hour batteries are about $2,500 a piece. So you save $1,000 by going with 2 rather than 6. And I mounted them back to back. So the label for this one is on the back side so that I was able to get the cables this close together. Now, battery cost is a major factor in what type of batteries to get. Flooded lead acid batteries, like the ones I had, sell for about $150. AGM batteries sell for about $250 to $300. And lithium batteries are comparatively $1,000. So why did I decide to go with the most expensive battery? A major factor is in the number of cycles a battery will take. All types of deep cycle batteries are limited in the number of cycles that they can take. And one cycle is discharging the battery to some point and then charging it back up. Each time you do that is a cycle, and each type of battery has that limit. Now I'm going to show you the website of the company that makes my batteries, LifeBlue. So these are the advantages of lithium batteries over any other type. These batteries are unique in that they have a built-in battery monitor, or an EMS, electrical monitoring system. And they have all these safety protections so that you can't harm the batteries. Lithium batteries charge a lot faster than other types of batteries. And this is about the cycles. All deep cycle batteries can be discharged as much as you want. But if you fully discharge the batteries each time, then you will get 2,800 cycles before the batteries will really go bad on you. If you limit your discharging to 50%, then these lithium batteries will give you 6,000 cycles. Now, comparatively with lead acid batteries, that would be about 400 cycles to 1,200 cycles, depending on how deep you discharge them on a regular basis. So if you compare 1,200 cycles with 6,000 cycles, it could be that in the long term, lithium batteries can actually cost less than other types of batteries, or at least you won't have to be replacing them so often. In 2,800 cycles, 6,000 cycles is about 6 years. Up to 6,000 cycles would be over 16 years. Whereas with lead acid batteries, at best, it's going to be about 3 to 4 years. And that's if you only discharge them 50%. So not only do lithium batteries last a lot longer, but you don't have to go through this process of buying new batteries all the time. Also, lithium batteries weigh about 1/2 the weight of lead acid batteries. So my big goal here was to get the battery worries out of my life, because I really went through a terribly frustrating time with those old flooded lead acid batteries. And my batteries have a built-in battery monitoring system that sends a Bluetooth signal to my cell phone. So this is what it does on my cell phone. This is the information it gives me. The batteries are now at 79% state of charge. They're putting out 13.4 volts, and this tells me whether they're charging or discharging. And this screen tells me at what rate they're being charged. 1.3 is a very slow charge, which is coming off of my solar panels right now. It tells me the temperature of the batteries, and it tells me how many cycles the batteries have been through. Now, I've only had these batteries for about a week. And after I've had these batteries for about a year or so, then I'll probably do an update video to let you know how much I like them after a year's use. So lithium batteries, even though they cost a lot more, they have a lot of advantages over any other type of battery. And get all those battery worries behind me, because I have really struggled with the discharging and charging of those flooded lead acid batteries so often. And I was having to monitor them several times a day to make sure that I was at a good place with them. I don't want to have to worry about that anymore. So that's one of the advantages of going with the best. They're going to be the most worry-free. Now, people will have all sorts of arguments as to what type of battery is the best. And for the most part, they'll pretty much all be right. There's different types of batteries for different types of people, depending on what you're looking for. So if someone else says, no, AGM is the best, or flooded lead acid is the best, or whatever, they're probably all best in some way. I just went with what I thought was best for me. So if you have any questions about them or anything else, put a comment, a question in the comment spaces below, and I will reply to it. So thank you very much for watching. Hope you've learned something here, and that you can help you decide what type of batteries you want for your RV next time you're at a situation where you need to buy new batteries. Good day, folks.